Yo, what's good? Welcome back to another episode of the Producergrind Podcast. I'm your host, CEO Dylan, co-host, letter L in the building as usual.
What's good, fam? How you feeling after the trip, bro?
Feeling good, bro.
Man, listen, I was checking out the Instagram stories and stuff, man. Y'all had a lot of pounds out there, bro.
Oh, yeah, bro. They're lit, so you know.
Yeah, but you had to leave it out there, right?
LA's a good vibe, though.
Hell of a vibe, man. It looked like fun, but I was glad to stay back and get some work done at the office, get a little rest.
Yeah, you know we always need the home team, holding the office down.
But we got the whole team back together. It's podcast time, man. We got one of the hottest young producers in the trap sitting next to me right now. This man has worked with Young Thug, Lil Baby, Offset, YSL Gunna, Young Dolph, Cap G, Lil Yachty, 21 Savage, Young Nudie, Lil Uzi Vert, Uno the Activist, and Shad the God. Please welcome into the show, Turbo.
Run that back, Turbo.
Sir.
Yeah, man. Thanks for joining us, bro.
Yeah, thank y'all for having me, for sure.
Oh, you already know.
Appreciate it, man. I'm a huge fan, bro, and I ain't gonna lie, man. I kind of just became a fan. I was late, but I was up on the new Gunna, man.
Yeah.
Yo, I'm really feeling that shit, bro, man.
For sure. I appreciate it.
So we definitely excited to kind of get into it and learn a little bit about your process, man. But for people who aren't familiar with your story, how did you get your start?
Well, I started off engineering. I was working mainly just like moving around with like a lot of local artists when I was young, maybe like 14, 15 years old.
Yeah.
I was
How old are you now?
23 now.
Okay.
So I started young, like in my mom's basement, just like whoever wanted to rap, I'll engineer you. I might give you a beat, like $20 come on with it, like all day, every day.
What was you using back then?
Adobe Audition. I was recording on Adobe. I didn't even know that you could make beats on Adobe back then. I was using it just for recording. And then we scammed Pro Tools somehow. That's the hardest shit to do in the world. So we scammed Pro Tools, and I was on like Pro Tools LE. Like when I first started out, and I crushed that. I was going crazy with that. Then we finally got like the other ones and just started moving up. But I started off engineering, and I met Shad the God, and we kind of just started moving around. He kind of like was the first person that helped me just see how industry artists record and just like the process and everything. So he kind of like got me up to speed with that, and I was locking in with him. And I just like once I got down the foundation and the formula, I can make beats on the side and engineer and possibly get my beats placed. I just started going crazy, like just really locking in, and that's all I was doing every day, all day.
So you kind of learned to engineer and make beats at the same time?
See, I always had a passion for making beats. Like that was always my thing. Like I can make beats, but engineering was a money thing. Like when I'm young, I'm like, shit, I can make $100 in 1 week just recording niggas. And I know I'm teaching myself how to do it. Like this was before like school and everything. I'm teaching myself how to like really see how waveforms look and know what clipping is.
Yeah.
Like just see how everything's supposed to work. Like I was cool with just the practice, but I was getting paid to practice. But I always had a passion for making beats. I was making beats before I was recording. So it's just, it went hand in hand.
See, that's hustling right there, and that's the part where you stop and rewind it. This man put himself in a position to be paid to practice, man.
For sure.
That's hustling right there.
You gotta find it. You gotta find your way.
So with you being able to connect with some of the highest selling and most popular trap artists, it means your networking game is pretty lit, right? So you know what you're doing. So how can you, for our listeners and those fellow producers out there, can you explain to them, how do you form those relationships with those artists? Are you mostly in the studio? Do you use the internet?
The best way I can say is the studio. I'm not always in the studio. A lot of times it's, like through social media. Like, but I say at the core of it is, genuine. Like even with typing, even if I'm DMing somebody, I'm not just like, it's genuine. It's genuine conversation. It's not like no weird, conversation that somebody can ignore. So, I mean, mostly the studio, it's always best to be in the studio face to face and you can feel each other's energies, but it's nothing wrong with the internet either though.
So for example, with the Gunna shit, man, we all loving. You know what I'm saying?
Oh boy.
Drip season 1, Drip season 2, right? How did you get in touch with Gunna? How did y'all hook up?
Well, me and Gunna from the same side. So like even before music, like when he was still in the street, we'd see each other. You know what I'm saying? Like, and we was just cool. We was just homies. You know what I'm saying? Like he knew Shad. Him and Shad was super duper close. You know what I'm saying? And when I came around Shad and it was like around him a lot more often, like that's kind of how we just milked in the bond. And still it was just like we was homies. Like this was before he even was like moving around with Thug. He was just Gunna, you know what I'm saying? Right. So that's how that came about. And when he started moving around with Thug, of course, like, you know, just my relationships with like Weezy and just Shad, Tip, you know what I'm saying? Everybody else, we just was running into each other. Yeah. Just like everywhere, like studio, we just running into each other. And I was coming up, he was coming up. So it made sense. Like, I got beats, I can record, you can rap, you know what I'm saying? Let's just lock in and just start making sense.
Mm.
So you're basically right now the definition of a working producer, right? You sit in a place where a lot of our listeners aspire to be, right? Mm-hmm. So when you're in these studios right now in 2018, what does the artist need from the producer? What does the artist need the producer to be? What skills does the producer need to bring into the room?
You definitely got to bring energy, but more than anything, you got to bring consistency. You know what I'm saying? Like, even when Gunna just specifically don't want to rap, shit, I might go into a whole nother room and just make beats just because, you know, he chilling. He might come into the room and just hear the beat. Oh, man, that's crazy. Pull it up. And immediately, that's the vibe. You know what I'm saying? You just set the vibe. But that at the core of that came from me being consistent. Like, okay, he not doing nothing or I'm not doing nothing. Let me go make a beat. Let me just see what I can come up with. Like, even when I don't want to do it, like, let me just see what I come up with. Like, you got to have that work ethic more than anything.
Now, what about on the engineer side? What's like 3 things that, as a recording engineer, artists really look for in you?
Being fast. Definitely. Being fast, being able to keep up to where it don't even feel like they're recording. You just feel like they just talking. You know what I'm saying? A vibe. And just like how you might break out into a freestyle, that's how you know you want to keep the artist comfortable, you know, more than anything. I noticed that's something that'll kill the vibe of the whole room if the engineer just not fast enough and it's kind of fucking up the vibe.
Yeah. Mad awkward breaks and shit.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So that's mainly one. I guess you can say appearance. You know, that's something. When you walk into the room, you don't want to be like a eyesore. You know what I'm saying? Like, just, who is this? You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, this is just the guy that's recording me. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I say, you know, appearance, that's a lot. You can't really just come into a room full of players or a room full of just, you know, high-end artists just looking any type of way. You know what I'm saying? Like, that might throw off a vibe. I done seen engineers have to leave because of that. Like, you just, I'm tired of looking at you. You know what I'm saying? Like,
throwing off the vibe.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And,
that's the most savage shit we've been doing. This is episode 10. This is episode 10. And in 10 episodes, that's the most savage shit I've heard.
It's true. It's true. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy.
So what's the third? What's the third thing you see?
Third, that an artist looks in with an engineer, right?
Yeah.
And I guess it have to be, did I say work ethic yet?
Nah.
It has to be work ethic. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, some of the, like, my best placements and some of, like, the biggest songs out right now was created probably 10 in the morning, 5 in the morning, you know what I'm saying? Weirdest time, 3 in the afternoon after you just did a 12-hour session the next day. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, like, you got to have that work ethic. Like, it might feel like, damn, I'm doing too much, but it's worth it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's something that somebody look forward to. Like, if he ready to rap or if the artist ready to rap, it don't matter what time, or rap scene, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, it don't matter what time. If they call you, you got to be ready. You know what I'm saying? Just to work, like, regardless of whatever you got going on and however you feeling, you just got to suck it up and just, you know, it's going to pay off in the long run.
So you started on a Adobe Audition, right? And I could make an assumption, but what do you use right now?
Pro Tools. To record?
No, to make beats, I'm sorry.
Oh, no, yeah, I started out on, with beats, I started off on FL.
Oh, you said, okay.
Yeah.
So, okay, cool. So you still use FL?
Of course.
And which version are you using right now?
Right now, I'm on 10.
You on 10?
Yeah.
Over for 12.
Yeah.
It's weird. Like, it's weird, right? You know what's weird? I think I have 12, right?
Yeah.
I'm still, you know, getting used to, I'm coming over from Reason. So it's like everybody say that for me, I open it up like, oh no, this is what it's supposed to look like. Do you use sound kits?
Yeah, I use sound kits.
What kind of sound kits do you use?
Right now I'm using my own, like just kind of the sounds that I just found from different kits or just stuff that I didn't even record it myself. You know what I'm saying? That I just use mainly, but other than that, I get all my sound kits from y'all, really. I get them from Producergrind, like, no cap, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I go on the website and just check out, or like really like the people around me, like my guy that, my boy Ma, I know y'all know Ma, you know what I'm saying? That like he load up my computer and make sure like all my plugins and everything together. So shit, I get them from him, or if I see somebody y'all drop something new, I go and get it from y'all. Like just whatever. I don't really got no system.
Appreciate that shout out, fam, man.
Hell yeah.
And that's I guess that's like a big deal, because if I'm a producer sitting at home watching, right, and I'm trying to figure out, what can I do to improve my sound? I got Turbo sitting right here, you know what I'm saying? His list is long, right? And he's sitting here telling you he go to Producergrind for sounds, man. So one, that makes us feel good because we do want to really help. But two, man, we trying to tell y'all out there, man, rock with us, man, for real. You know what I'm saying?
It's no cap. You ain't gonna find no better, just real exciting sounds. You know what I'm saying? Unless you want to use the same spins 808 everybody else uses.
More savagery.
That spins 808 still go hard though.
Man, what the best one? I'm just saying, you still gotta
switch it up a little.
Yeah, you have to. Of course, everybody in this room knows spins 808 the best one, but you gotta switch it up. You can't have his same sound. Got to.
You did say you was gonna keep it interesting. You the first person I actually heard say it like out loud. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah, why not? What the fuck?
I respect it though. For sure. No, I respect it for sure.
Anyone specific with it, like most people wouldn't even like say like, I fuck with the spins 808.
Everybody knows Spins the big homie though. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's never no disrespect to anybody. You know what I'm saying? But shit, facts are facts. It's just niggas use the Spins 808. Period.
That is what it is. So we linked up with you at the Master the Keys panel discussion at AU last night. And so I was wondering if you could talk a little bit about that event and kind of what went down.
Shout out to Tyra B. I went to Gunna he had like a meet and greet maybe like 3 or 4 months ago. And that's why I met with her, and she was telling me that she was working on a producer panel. And we was busy, it was a lot going on, but she invited me to that. And I came out and it was like way bigger than I expected. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
She was saying that some of the students out there that's like into the music and stuff like that, they was requesting producers. And, my name was one of the ones that they really wanted to come out and just speak to. I guess I'm popping, I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, hell yeah, bro. look, I got more excited about that than you did.
Yeah, it's just, shit, man. I just came out, you know what I'm saying? Like just with an open mind. Like I didn't really know. I knew it was gonna be questions, but I didn't really all the way know how it was gonna go. You know what I'm saying?
What type of stuff they asked you?
Man, what was one of the ones? What was the one you was just saying? Like when do
how do you know
beat
when
is
a beat's
finished?
finished?
Yeah, like they was asking like stuff that any other like I guess industry producer there's something you don't have to ask because you got enough confidence and you know it. But it's just like reassuring questions, something that they probably already knew, but they had to hear it from a certain person.
One decent question I think somebody asked, like, yo, how do I, if I'm trying to DM you or something like that, or DM a star or something like that, what's the best way to stand out? I thought that was a decent question.
Yeah, for sure.
It's interesting when you're dealing with college students because, I was telling Dylan I did a workshop at University of Illinois a couple weeks ago, and there's no curriculum for making beats, right?
Yeah.
And so that's why when you end up in these spaces, you get the very low level question, right? But you still get that super high level question because there's only one place for everybody to go. You know what I'm saying? So it's always interesting with that. I want you to talk a little bit about the group of fellow producers you work with, the Playmakers, man. I just wanted to know if you could talk about that, kind of who are the members and kind of what separates Turbo from that group.
Okay. Well, the Playmakers, if I just really had to give it a definition, it's me and my brother Young Jet. You know what I'm saying? Them the producers of the Playmakers. But since we was young, I grew up with Jet. That's like my brother, like all the way. That's my brother, like. So when we grew up, we had our own little crews, you know what I'm saying, just growing up. So we started off as Boss Squad. And that was me, him, and my other brother too, Johnny, a few other just like gang members, you know what I'm saying? Like that we just tight with, you know what I'm saying? Like, so it was kind of like a crew thing. Got older, Boss Squad, it came and went. And we went with the Playmakers. And that just became like, our production group and just something that we was working on. And it just started getting bigger, like with the tag. Once we finally got the tag, I was putting it on all my beats. And it just started getting like way bigger than, ever expected. So as of right now, musically it's me and him, but it's still the gang. We still got a few just everybody riding with us, period. You know what I'm saying? But production-wise, me and Jet's my brother.
You a hard-working dude, ain't you?
For sure.
I can just tell. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you just always doing something. One of the people that you can just tell, like, you don't know how to, like, stop. Like,
it feels bad when I stop. It feels like, what the fuck are you doing? You know what I'm saying?
Do you still like engineering?
Do I still like it?
Yeah.
No.
Hate it?
I ain't gonna say I hate it, because it's a gift and a curse. You know what I'm saying? Like some of the best music that, especially like stuff y'all ain't heard yet, like with Gunna, some of our best music was created because it's just me and him. There's nobody else. And, we just make some incredible shit. But it wouldn't be able to happen if I didn't know how to engineer.
So when you say you don't necessarily like engineering, you mean you don't like it overall? Like with Gunna, like if you knew, hey, I was just gonna engineer Gunna, would you be okay with that?
Of course.
So is it more of like, because the way some people work, you don't like it? Or is it depend on who you're doing it?
I don't want it to make it seem like I'm making a career out of engineering. You see what I mean? Like, and because I came in engineering, it's a lot of people that's used to me engineering. They not used to me I just want to play beats and, let's make something. So, that's kind of like where I'm at with it right now. Like the people that I work with, that's who I work with. The people I record right now, that's who I record. That's just, we've been doing that. So it's not really going to change. It don't even feel like work. Yeah. But if I was to have to come to a session and record, be like, I ain't really with all that. I don't want to do all that. Now it doesn't have nothing to do with the artist, the process, or nothing. It's just I don't want to do that. I want to produce and I want to elevate with that. And if I got an engineer, if I got to record, then cool, I'll record. Who I work with. But still, it's gonna get to a point that might have to, just calm down and stop. Yeah.
But it's to the point where people can't just someone can't DM you and be like, yo, how much you charge an hour to?
Nah, yeah.
It's over with.
Just go ahead and put that out there right now. Stop.
What about mixing though?
Yeah, I still do a little mixing here and there, but it's getting to the point to where that's gonna stop. I mix for my homies, you know what I'm saying? Like stuff like that. People that, I know they sound, shit like that. And every once in a while I might mix somebody that's like close to me that I got introduced to, but that's very, very rare these days.
How do you feel about somebody else mixing your record?
I'm open to it, but shit, you got to be ready to do it over. You know what I'm saying? You got to be ready to improve it. Like, I'm never going to just send my whatever song, beat, whatever to an engineer, let him mix them how he want to mix it and just put it out. It's always going to be 3 or 4 different final drafts. Yeah.
Now, as an engineer, you prefer like where the artist will sit with you during the mix and kind of like because like a lot of times, like if you mix it for somebody, it might be 4 or 5 times, it goes back and forth. You know what I'm saying? It's like, we could have just did this first time.
You right, but still like, that's just something you got to accept. You're going to do it a few times, especially with an artist that care about his music. Yeah. You got to accept it. And I'm cool with that because, I'm a hard worker, so I understand it, especially like with engineering. People don't even know we mixed DS3 4 times.
Yeah.
The whole mixtape.
Oh, wow.
4 times. So it's like to see, damn, y'all getting on my nerves while we mixing this, you know what I'm saying? And this shit is annoying to where it's at now. It makes all the sense to take your time and just take your time. Shit, it don't matter how many times you do it till you get it right, just get it right.
See, this is making me want to ask him about something. And I only said this. I'm about to ask it because I got to ask that shit because I'm sitting there looking at you and I can see how passionate and serious you are about your craft. Like, you really care about the music. You putting a lot of time and effort in this. You know what the fuck you doing, right?
For sure.
Did you see what Russ said?
Yeah, I seen it, but who the fuck, what? So, like, you won't get none of my beats? If that's how you feel? Because shit, like, that was one of the main things that just Gunna specifically would glued us in. Every time I was in a room, like this was like DS1, DS3 days. Every time I was in a room, he'll stop and be like, this is Turbo. He produced this song. This is how this song goes. Some. Oh, shit, okay, yeah. I remember that. Oh, that's you? Oh, yeah. Like, he really made it a point to let people know who the producer was and what he did for him. Yeah, so, like, how can you say that about a producer? Like, whether you beefing with somebody or whatever cap you got going on, how can you say that? You couldn't be who you are without the music. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, so shit, if that's, he probably in his feelings. I don't know. I don't give a damn. I don't know him. It don't affect me. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I'm really working, it don't affect me. I got my own sound. Shout out to him though. I seen footage for I think he did Coachella. Somebody like him. You know what I'm saying? It's cool. I ain't got no problems with him, but whatever. He probably in his feelings. Niggas be emotional.
That's real shit. That's a real ass answer. I respect that shit, man. All right, man, we gonna switch gears real quick, man. You know, we gonna move to our little segments we love to do, man. So first we got overrated, underrated for you. So we gonna present 5 topics. You are simply gonna answer whether you think that is overrated or underrated. And if we feel it merits further exploration, we might ask you some follow-up questions.
Okay.
Are you ready? So we got Turbo in here with overrated, underrated. Overrated, underrated. Balmain. Did I even say that right?
Yeah.
I think Gunna say, but Balmain, he got a little accent. Balmain.
Balmain, I mean, shit. Damn, do I have to give either one?
It's got to be either overrated or underrated.
Overrated.
Overrated? Yeah. I understand. Okay. Yeah. Producers just, they focus on what matters, man. Producer engineers focus on what matters, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Overrated, underrated. Gross beat.
Woo.
That's a hard one.
I say underrated. Yeah, niggas don't even understand how much gross beat does to a beat. You know what I'm saying? Like if it's properly used, man, that shit, or make a beat for real.
you mess around with that halftime shit yet? You seen that?
I'm gonna stay out of that. That's one of the ones right there. I ain't even gonna talk about that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, for sure.
Well, that means if you're listening right now, dig all into that halftime. There's something there he don't want you to find. Overrated, underrated. You know what? I didn't add. Do you smoke?
Of course.
Okay. Overrated, underrated. And not everybody smokes. Gelato.
Underrated.
Underrated?
Yeah.
Actually, I want to know why you say that.
I mean, it just became a thing. Especially with me, like coming from where I come from, like I know a lot of just dealers and shit like that. I remember when gelato was sitting next to the trash can because it stink, and everybody was like on the OG wave. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, it's cool. It's cool weed, exotic and all that, but it's underrated.
I'm still on the OG way. That's still my favorite shit.
Yeah.
You just talking about that the Cali OG.
What about it? How they tax out there.
Yeah,
they tax out in the dispensaries.
Overrated, underrated. Uber.
Overrated. I be getting that Uber. This shit be stinking.
Yo, they do be stink sometimes.
Like, y'all need to interview y'all drivers and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, before y'all do all that, man, because Uber is like, the commercials be like, they riding around in the fucking 2020 Audi. You know what I'm saying? This shit look nice and good leather, then you gonna get in a goddamn Pontiac with fucking smoke holes, cigarette holes in the
like
back.
wet dog.
This shit smell like ass. Shit be crazy. Yeah.
My Atlanta Uber's been straight, but the lifts be funky, bro. Yeah. I don't know. Something about the lifts in the A.
I ain't against Uber, but I use Lyft though. Yeah.
Bro.
That's what it is. All right, last one, overrated, underrated. MIDI controllers.
Oh, underrated. I say it's underrated.
All right, so I want to follow with that one. And so the reason I chose that one is because I know, you a FL producer, right? And I've watched so many FL guys just sit down, no MIDI controller. Dylan does that. He did it right over there earlier, right? So that's why I want to ask that question. But why do you say underrated?
Because, I love and I cook up with no MIDI board, from time to time. But the times that I have had like just MIDI controllers, I get a whole new crazier sound. And it might be on accident just because, on the keyboard, you only got so many notes that you can play. With the actual controller, you got the whole whatever key it is. So it's like, I might just be fucking around and just, you know what I'm saying, touch something that I couldn't touch on the keyboard. So,
You play a little bit?
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
That's what it is. And that was overrated, underrated with Turbo, man. I like that, man. Dropping a little bit of jewels in the overrated, underrated.
With the artists you work with, like, you ever like had a song y'all made and you kind of played it out within yourselves, like you play it and you just like, man, this shit old. I don't even fuck with it no more, kind of.
It's old.
Like, so say you made a song with Gunna, right? And y'all listening to it for like a month or two before, like, before you drop it or whatever. Does it ever get to the point where it's like, I don't even fuck with that record like that?
Yeah, all the time.
Y'all still drop it or y'all?
With certain artists, like we have dropped like Shard. It might be something that we just play over and over again. But that's just us. We played it out, and we playing it so much because it's a good song. It just got old to us because we record every day, so it might just get old. You know what I'm saying? But shit, like when it dropped, somebody else gonna play it over and over and over again the same way because it's still a great song. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Not even new. It's a good song. It's just shit. You know, we done heard it 2 million times, so I don't really want to hear it again. But
what makes a dope trap record?
A dope trap record? Man, definitely the drums. You know what I'm saying? Like, I gotta give it to the drums. Like that's what glue a whole trap record in and bring it to either a trap record or anything else. You know what I'm saying? Like if you got trap drums, you could put trap drums on a pop melody, and then make it trap. You know what I'm saying? So that's definitely what glue it in for sure.
So with you, I've heard multiple people be like, "Yo, how Turbo be getting his kicks to sound like that? Like nobody kicks hit harder than Turbo."
Shit, it's a secret. That's why Turbo is Turbo. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't get that out. You know what I'm saying? I can't really do all that. But I mean, I don't know. I guess I got my sound with the drums just off of feeling. And, you know, cooking up, especially like young, I was always like, I don't want to do some shit that somebody else did. You know what I'm saying? Like that was my main thing. And when I found that, I just worked the hell out of it. So like, it's nothing wrong with tight beats and, you know, stuff like that. It's just I was never into getting in somebody else's lane. I always knew I wanted to make my own lane. So like that's kind of how I found my drums. Like, and I just worked on it. I just perfected it. My drums wasn't always hidden. Like the shit was at a point in time trash. You know what I'm saying? But shit, I just got better at it. Like, and I don't even really know it's a formula. Like I just got better. Like I don't know.
That's what it is. So
what's the number one way to get better, you think?
Consistency.
But what else though? What's happening? Consistency doing what?
Consistency at whatever you do. You know what I'm saying? Like I know shit, I know where Producergrind came from. You know what I'm saying? Like before it was even an office. But I know y'all had crazy work ethic. So like it's no real secret to this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's what I was saying at the panel. Like, shit, if you do something every day, you're gonna get better at it. You have to. You know what I'm saying? It's you have no choice. It's no way that I can tell you. You know what I'm saying? Like it's gonna be, you're gonna find your own little boot wham. You know what I'm saying? Your own little niche. You're gonna find your own way. Like I record different than maybe JB record. You know what I'm saying? Like I might make beats maybe different than Metro. You know what I'm saying? But that's my way of making beats and that's his way of making beats. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's just, you know, its own niche. But for me, especially to get my niche, I did it every day. I was like, damn, okay. Damn, I ain't mean to do that, but that was hard. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna do that tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna do that the next day. And it just became my thing. You do something for 30 days, you done started a whole new process. You know what I'm saying?
If it's hard to be consistent for you, you think it's just not your lane? If you got to force yourself,
it's not your passion. You know what I'm saying? Like, and a lot of people, and that go back to the engineering thing. I'm not passionate about engineering. You know what I'm saying? I know how to do it, but I'm passionate about making beats. You know what I'm saying? And just making something out of nothing. So that's kind of like why I don't like doing it. If you can't do something every day, you're probably just not passionate about it. You're probably just doing it just, I don't know, because you see somebody else doing it or you want to do it, or you might kind of want to do it, but you don't know if you want to get into it. You know what I'm saying? Like, the first day I made a beat, I found a program. I've been doing it every day ever since. Like every single day. And it's just not purposely. It's just, damn, I want to go do what I like to do. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
That's what it is, man. All right, Turbo. Next, we wanted to do our factor. So this is our factor where you have 30 seconds. You must take up the entire 30-second time while talking about a topic that we provide you without stopping, saying or ah. So here's your topic. You're going to have 30 seconds in the factor to describe the drip. We have Turbo the Great in the factor. Turbo has 30 seconds to describe the drip. Turbo, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Go.
The drip is your persona. It's yourself. It's what you put on. You know, it's not just your clothing. It's not the type of shoes you wear. It's your persona. I could put on a Hanes t-shirt and some Brett Favre pants and some socks and some sandals, and I'm dripping because I feel like I'm dripping. It's my persona. It's how I feel. It's what I do. So it's no real definition for it. Just is what it is. And And I ain't said
Good job, Turbo. Turbo passed the factor. And somebody out there really appreciated it because they didn't know what the drip was until you just told them.
Definition. Put me in Wikipedia or something. Yeah.
So your list of credits is long, man. And anybody that's really doing it in trap right now, you pretty much work with, right? So who have you not had a chance to work with that you still want to work with?
I definitely want to work with Future.
Did you do any engineering?
Nah, I never even did no engineering for him. I done been to the studio with him plenty of times and just from the people that I'm around. But we never just locked in on nothing. So I definitely want to work with Future. Gucci, I never did anything with Gucci. You gotta work with the trap guy. So I definitely want to do something with Gucci. Nipsey.
Tweet Gucci here.
Yeah. He might have $1 million for me. Something like that. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But Guap. Nip, I want to work with Nip. I was actually in the studio probably like a couple weeks ago, fucking with my nigga Hoggy. That's Nipsey brother. So we was just chilling though. We was just smoking and shit. He was recording with somebody else. I was just kicking it. But I definitely want to work with him, lock in with him on some shit. And like just different people, like Bryson Tiller, you know what I'm saying? SZA. I want to do something with SZA, you know what I'm saying? Just to see, like, she just seemed like a cool person, like, just people that's just genuine. I wanted to work with Bankroll, RP Bankroll. Like, I definitely want, I still listen to all his shit.
Turbo and SZA will be hard, bro.
Should be hard, right?
That would be so hard, bro.
That's what I'm saying. It should be cool. I want to do something with her. She cool. Everybody else that's just creative, J. Cole's and Drake's and Kanye's and shit. But, I know that's going to take a little time, but, it's on the list. You
think you're a producer that will stay the independent route, or are you interested in, maybe signing with a label?
I'm stay independent. Shit, look at the way music going. Like, why would I? It's nothing wrong with it if they got a big enough check and it makes sense. You know what I'm saying? But just because it's a major label and you sending me some paperwork or you want to talk about some business doesn't mean I'm finna sign. I kind of got like my foundation with my business and just with the Playmakers and just, everything. You know what I'm saying? I got a foundation right now and it's working. So, I don't really need too much, I wouldn't say guidance, but help on that. You know what I'm saying? That a label would.
You've been approached?
A few times, yeah. A few people.
Interesting. So what can we look forward to hearing from you in 2018?
Bigger music, just a very wide variety of sound. You know what I'm saying? Like different artists, way bigger shit. I want to be doing like in this year and the years coming up, just shit that I never thought of, and I'm open to it. You know what I'm saying? I can't even really give you a cut dry answer. You know what I'm saying? Just something bigger than what I'm doing now.
That's what it is, man. I'm always interested in people who are open to whatever, because you never know what doors are gonna open.
Exactly.
When you just are okay with, I personally had to be okay with not getting a placement for a little while. And I'm doing this, and I get to sit next to you and learn all this cool shit. You know what I'm saying? So when people are open to whatever, man, that's really when your blessings happen. So
because you never know where it's gonna come from. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna put that out there to everybody. Like, never just turn down something just because of some cap shit that you just think of. You know what I'm saying? Like, even if it's something that you might not like to get to the next place, you got to get out your comfort zone. And I knew that when I was young. Like, shit, I don't like talking. I don't like doing shit like this. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I had to get out my comfort zone. And when I started doing it more, I was like, damn, that shit cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, these people really just like me. Like, we just really talking like as if we was talking without the mics. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you gotta be open to new things, and shit, you just gotta try it, see how it go.
How do you know the difference between if it's just like you stepping out of your comfort zone, or if it's your gut feeling telling you not to do it?
Shit, a gut feeling is a gut feeling. I still go with my gut feeling. Like, if something is just telling me it don't sound right, you know what I'm saying? They don't feel right. And I go off of feeling with everything I do, like even with relationships and just, people that I come across. If it don't feel right, if it ain't genuine, then shit, I don't care. I'm not around. You know what I'm saying? I'm not really interested in it. So a gut feeling is a gut feeling. Like, you don't know where it come from. It's just shit, your gut feeling. So, I still go off that to this day. But shit, you gonna know when you out your comfort zone. Everybody know that. Like,
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say what? No, go ahead. You go.
Well, I had one more quick because you're talking about gut feeling. Is something that came up earlier that I thought about, didn't ask you. Do you know when a song is a hit?
That's another thing about feeling. You know what I'm saying? Like, just specifically for sold out dates. Shit, I felt like, damn, this is a hard ass song. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you're not doing nothing but listening. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're like, damn, okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, every other just like my big placement, or even just like, I was sitting in there when they recorded We Ball, Thug and Meek. I was sitting in the studio and I damn near didn't want to leave the studio. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause I was like, it was just a crazy vibe. It was like, damn, like, I know this finna be big. Like, it's just a feeling. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what music is. It's how you make you feel, how it make you get through your week, your day. You know what I'm saying? Just that point in time, like, it's a feeling. So that's how I gauge, like, hits. You know what I'm saying? Like, and stuff like that. Like, how it make me feel. Like, can I listen to this a million times? Can it bring me back to a certain part of my life? Like, that's all that shit is. Like, that's what make a hit. You know what I'm saying? So if it don't feel like that, then cool, we're gonna go to the next one. It's just, you know, it might just be a song. But, you know, a hit, like, it's a feeling. You gonna know it.
Switch it up. What's the first, you know, couple things you do when you wake up? You know, what's the first hour of your day look like?
Truthfully, these days when I wake up is at the weirdest times, because I go to sleep at the weirdest times. You know what I'm saying? So I don't even really have a set schedule. When I wake up, the first thing I'm doing is checking my phone to see how many missed calls and who done called me. You know what I'm saying? Just to make sure I ain't missed out on no business or something like that. But once I get through doing all that, I'll probably just get up. You know what I'm saying? Just stretch, open up the blinds, shit like that. Just look outside, see how it's looking. Walk around the spot, just chill. I might just get on Instagram, take a shower, and I'm out the door. It's just simple as that.
Before you go to the studio, you know, what kind of things you do during the day?
Everything I just said.
Just that stuff. Then you're on the way to the studio.
Then I'm going to the studio. Yeah.
That's it.
I can dig that.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, last thing before we get you up out of here, man, can you tell us where we can find you on social media?
Oh, yeah. Follow all that shit, because that shit mean a lot. Turbo the Great on Instagram. One Turbo the Great on Twitter. Got SoundCloud, Turbo the Great. I think my URL is like Turbo the Great 49. I got www.turbothegreat.com. I got that. You can check me out on there.
Oh yeah, let's talk a little bit about that. You got a beat selling website now, right?
Yeah, I got one, but I don't got no music uploaded on it.
Oh, you don't have no beat selling yet?
Not right now. Gotcha. Yeah, so I'm still trying to figure out how I want it.
I do want to say I'm glad you did that, because people come on the show all the time, right? And it's my job to go research them. And then lo and behold, I figure out that all the information is scattered and not necessarily accurate. You had everything boiled into one place, and all the information was accurate because it was Turbo the Great's website. Yeah, exactly. That's huge, ladies and gentlemen, if you're a producer out there.
Branding, you know what I'm saying? And it's you know, it's no right or wrong to this shit. It's however you want to do it. I just knew, you know what I'm saying, the people that I was coming up around, like, just like TMs and just Cashes. I seen y'all had Cashes up here, Wheezy, you know what I'm saying? Like, shit, it was certain shit that they was doing leading up to getting where they at now. You know what I'm saying? That I was just like, okay, I gotta boom, notes.
What are some of those things, if you could share some of them?
Shit, just that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I Google everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, just about business. You know what I'm saying? Like, people threw out split sheets, but when I was young, I was scared of them. You know? Like, what the hell, split sheet? Oh, back up. You know what I'm saying? Like, but it's like, shit, it's just splitting the music. It's
so
just
you do that during the
down.
sessions? You be doing it?
Nah, not during the session. You know what I'm saying? Like, but you know, when music come out, it's no real right way or nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, but you know, a few times I done did it after the music done came out. You know, I done did it before the music done came out. Like, it just depends on whatever artist decides to take care of the business. You know what I'm saying? But you have to get the business taken care of at some point. So.
What about branding? You said you learned some stuff from those guys about branding.
Yeah, just like how they move. You know what I'm saying? And like, you know, how they set up like their Instagram. You know what I'm saying? Like, this type of stuff that they would tweet, the way they set up their SoundClouds. Like, before I could even just afford to have a up and running website, I had a SoundCloud. Every time something came out, I uploaded on my SoundCloud. whatever, produced by or engineered by. I was doing that too, like engineered by Turbo, just to let people know what was going on. I had me a nice long cap bio, you know what I'm saying? Just who I worked with, you know what I'm saying? Like who I was working with at the time, just so, I wouldn't forget, just letting people know, just bringing the awareness. Like you got to brand yourself. And I know some producers, they like to kick it in the back. You know what I'm saying? Like it's some producers, I done walked in the studio and never heard of them in my life, but they got the craziest sound. You know what I'm saying? Like the craziest music, and that certain artist might just like them. You know what I'm saying? So that's however you want to go with it. You can be like the Metros and the South Side, so you can be like you know what I'm saying, whoever else y'all might not know that's going crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There it is, man. You done dropped a whole lot of game today, bro.
For sure.
It's a great interview, man. We appreciate you coming on the show.
For sure. I appreciate y'all.
Most deaf, ladies and gentlemen, Turbo the Great, man. Appreciate you, family.
Appreciate you, bro. Yep. Appreciate you guys tuning into another episode of the Producergrind Podcast. Look forward to next week. Peace.
K Factory Production.